Thank you for joining this episode of Diversity. Today I have Meng joining me as she celebrates the Chinese New Year. Meng, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me here.
Excellent. Meng, can you tell us about yourself? What's your name? Who are you? Your background, and what brought you to Kingston?
Oh, okay. Well, my background is I came to Canada with my parents back in 2000. So I came as an immigrant, obviously, because I was pretty young, I'm 12 years old. But after a few years, we initially lived in Toronto because that's generally where everyone first go to because of the opportunities there. But eventually we decided to settle down in Ottawa. And that's where I spent most of my, adolescence in. And I'm in Kingston mostly because I went to Queen's University. I was a recent graduate from the commerce program. So because I'm already in Kingston for quite a few years and I really like the city. So naturally, as I graduate, I decided to stay because there's a great work opportunity here for me as well. So that's the gist of it.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Meng. Now, last weekend was New Year.
Yeah.
Chinese New Year.
Yeah.
How do you say Happy New Year in Chinese?
You can say 过年好.
过年好.
Yeah.
So
very good.
Thank you, Meng. 过年好, Meng.
Yeah, thank you.
So what does that mean to you? And what are the Chinese New Year? What does it mean to you? And what year are we in?
Well, right now we're in the snake year, the year of snake. And to me, Chinese New Year is more about just celebrating with family and friends, just because I grew up in the northern part of China. So obviously it's a pretty big place and everyone has different ways of celebrating. And for us, we generally will just have lots of family dinners, lunch, and just hang out with family for most of the 10, 15 days, pretty much.
Wow.
So you have a lot of relatives go around for. And in terms of particular rituals for us, I would say, at least from the northern part of China, we do a lot of cooking together. So we definitely all make dumplings together because that's like a family activity because you had to make the dough from the scratch. You make the stuffing and everything. So that's a really nice bonding experience because everyone has to help.
Wow.
So that's one of the key activity for us. But obviously, as I was talking to other friends, apparently they celebrate it very differently across the country. So it's pretty interesting. And usually the biggest day is actually the New Year's Eve, which is the Saturday. So during that time, most of us will be sitting around with family and watching TV shows because usually there's special TV show that everyone watch and it's just like a good family experience to do together. And after midnight, the tradition is that we'll go outside to put some fireworks.
Wow.
So that's generally what I've experienced when I was in China, which is a lot of family, a lot of fun. And after Chinese New Year, you go to different relatives and you will be just respect your elders and, just say good, wishing them good luck for the new year, etc. And you also, the perks of it, you will get red pockets, which sometimes will have money in there as well. So, so that's pretty much what it means to me. It's mostly about, just celebrating the family and just treasuring the time that you have with them together. So yeah.
Excellent. Now you mentioned 10 to 15 days. Is that how long the celebration is?
I believe that the actual national holiday is, I think, about 10 days. But technically, we are supposed to celebrate for 15 days, but usually people celebrate for a week or so.
Wow. And
so it's a pretty big celebration. It's almost like as big as Christmas, I guess, in Canada, if you want to really compare that to the holiday here. So yeah, it's a pretty big deal for us.
Wow. And over that 15 or 10 days period, do people go to work or you're just hanging out with family or cooking and you're celebrating and preparing for the new year?
Yeah, we tend to just stay within the family, but usually when you're visiting family, you start with obviously the eldest of the family. So I remember I always go to my grandparents first, and then after that we'll go to say my uncles or like my aunts. So I think it's more according to the seniority, you know, your family member is in the family. So you will spend the most important few days with the most respected member of the family.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you mentioned that this year is the year of the snake. Am I right?
Yeah.
Wow. And so tell me, what if you were born in a particular year, what do you have to do? Do you have to dress in a certain way? You have to, like, is there any expectation? Let's say you're someone that was born the year of the snake, and now is the year of the snake. What is expected of you?
Oh, okay. Well, in the year of snake, it's your year, so it's really if you have, it's your chance to have really great luck if you dress properly, apparently. So
what do you mean by proper dressing?
so the tradition is, if at least for the Chinese New Year Eve, you should at least wear red somewhere.
Okay.
And there's different type of garment. I think for males, it's typically their undergarment and their belts, etc. And for girls, it's more just something cheerful. That's red. So that's why I'm wearing red today.
Wow.
Even though it's not quite my year, but you know, I still like to bring good luck to my new year. So, that's what I'm hoping for. So if you don't do that, the saying that you might not have the best of luck this year. So, so that's pretty much the tradition. But some people do it, some people don't. It's more, I guess, a superstitious thing that we do. But yeah.
That's interesting, because if I should have worn red when coming here. If you had told me, so I should.
Is this your year this year?
I don't know. How do you calculate it? So how many years do you have? So you have the year of the snake.
Yeah.
How many years do you have?
There's 12 animals. So the year of snake, I think, is the sixth one. So so technically for me, if I calculate my year according to the normal calendar, I should be snake. So that's why I'm just, you know, being cautious and wearing red just in case.
Okay, that's good. That's fair.
Yeah, but according to the lunar calendar, I'm supposed to be dragon. So depends on, I guess, our age difference. You can kind of calculate what animal you are. Yeah.
Wow. And so, I mean, you have the new year happen over the weekend, and you're not in China, you're in Kingston. Did you do anything special, or did your family, now your parents are still in Canada, like, did you do anything special?
Yeah.
The people that are not in China during the new year, do anything special outside the country?
Well, like this year, unfortunately, I have a few conflicts. I couldn't go home for the new Chinese New Year just because we don't have long-standing holiday here. So, so I was actually here in Kingston, but I did celebrate it with my friends at her house. So we did like a mixture of bunch of tradition, because they're from the south, so they did a lot of dishes and some rice cake. That's part of their tradition. But they also did dumplings with me, so that's pretty nice of them. So so yeah, it was pretty fun. And then we just kind of just basically chatted and spent the evening just watching TV and just like having fun, and that's how I spent it this year. But I do remember, even though we're in Canada, we do try to celebrate it some way. In the past few years, if I'm in school, I usually will either go home or my parents will come over on the first day of New Year. So that would be like the January 1st of the lunar calendar. Trying to remember. Sorry.
That's fine. Well, it's good to know that, because sometimes when you leave your leave your home country and move to a new home country, just like you did, you know, it's good to be able to still keep some of that culture, you know, and still celebrate who you are.
Yeah, and
where you're coming from.
Yeah, for sure. And even though I don't go to house to celebrate the New Year with my relatives, I still will be like, you know, required to call them and wish them to have a great New Year. That's just because it's just a time to show your respect, and also to show that you want everyone to prosper and have great luck, and also have great health for the new year. So
that's very good.
Yeah.
So do you miss not being in China during the New Year, how much do you miss that?
I definitely miss it more just because even though we do celebrate it here, but it's not the same. It doesn't have the same autumn spirit if not everyone's celebrating it. I definitely miss, going to family and just, have the time to spend with them. But it's a different type of life for me here, just because even though I don't get to celebrate Chinese New Year as much as I want, but I do get additional holidays that are more, I guess, westernized. So it's pros and cons, but as like a Chinese citizen in Canada, I definitely do miss the cheerful atmosphere that we can experience in China. So,
but it's great to see that Kingston has diverse cultures, people coming from different parts of the world and bringing their culture. Either they're from the Caribbean or from China or from South America, or Asia or Spanish. But you see that diversity in culture in Kingston.
For sure.
And it's great talking with you and learning a lot more about the Chinese New Year.
Yeah.
How did you say the Happy New Year again?
It's 过年好.
过年好.
Yeah.
Meng 过年好, and thank you very much for being part of Diversity Kingston.
Oh,
thank you for joining us today. Please stay tuned for more from Diversity Kingston.